through certain basics. The image that you see on the left hand side is a face of a girl. Now, what happens when you see that image? What happens in your brain is you abstract that image. If I tell you to draw that image without seeing that photograph, you will draw something like this, but very abstract, with only lines. Right? You will not be able to draw the details because your brain doesn't understand the details. It doesn't pay attention to the details. It just gets the pattern. So what we are basically, we are pattern seekers. We understand only the patterns, not the details, because our brain doesn't want any hard work. It doesn't want any overload. Okay. So if I try to remember the details, then I am overloading myself. I naturally don't tend to do that because what I do is, in my mind, is I try to abstract. So this is the first level of abstraction. The third image is another level of abstraction. The fourth level is a cartoon. Okay. Face is a face. You can recognize a face anywhere. Most of the time, I mean, you must have observed, you can see a face in clouds because that pattern of the face is in your mind, and whenever you use something similar to that, you try to match that. Okay. If I have seen Prashant. Okay. So what happens? I mean, if I see him next time, second time, there is when I see him for the first time, I store his pattern of his face in my mind, and second time what happens? I match that visual that I am seeing with that pattern, and if it matches, then I recognize it. Okay. So every time what we do is a pattern. So I mean, this is why I can say is that the cartoons, I mean, children enjoy seeing cartoons than real movies because they don't want to stress themselves, right? They want to just see the abstract images of people, and that's why they are very comfortable in watching cartoons than actual movies because they are very comfortable at that. So we see only patterns, it's very easy for us. Brain is very good at cutting out the irrelevance. I mean, it doesn't pay attention to the details. So we do chunking. I mean, what we do is we get the pattern and we set that pattern in a chunk. Like if I see you, then I get the pattern of your face, and then I chunk it in one category. A male face or a female face or children's face, something like that. So we do a lot of chunking. Okay, so let's go ahead. So how does it matter in games? And we have talked about visual thinking and a lot of other things, but how does it matter in games? See, games are actually the abstraction of real world. So what we do is games are actually, they are the patterns of the real world events. Like for example, like I can talk about Tic-Tac-Toe. Maybe an event. Can I just do this? Okay, you played this game just now. Your real life situation. You are in a war. You have an enemy. You have some soldiers. You want to move your soldiers from this place to this place, and you have enemies on the sides. Don't think about game, just think about the real life situation. There is a valley over there, and there are some places in which you have to take positions so that your soldiers can cross the valley easily. Okay, so you want to make a safe corridor for them. Okay, so what you do is you mark. Okay, so the game is to take position so that you create a corridor. So what is Tic-Tac-Toe is basically a abstraction of this kind of situation. It could be some other situation. So what we do is we cut out the irrelevant part from the reality. We do that abstraction, we take the pattern and make a game so that we learn how to tackle this situation. We need not create the detailed solution for a person. to, that will create a lot of overload. Okay, so this is just the abstraction. So games are the abstractions of the real world situation, and they have a pattern. I mean, you must have realized in Tic-Tac-Toe, I mean, when you started your game, it was maybe somebody won sometime. But after a few attempts, you might have realized that nobody is winning. That's because you have understood the pattern and you understood the probabilities of the positions that you have to take and to win. Like that. If you understand the pattern, if you study the pattern of Tic-Tac-Toe, then this is the position which has the maximum probability of winning, because you can do this 2, 3 and 4. So it has 4 chances of winning. So you tend to take this position most of the time. Okay. Now corner positions. It has 3 chances, 2 rows and 1 diagonal, and this in between positions. These have only 2 chances. So what you do is you don't calculate. You are not good at probabilities. But what you do is, in your subconscious mind, what you do is you try to take these positions. This is the pattern of Tic-Tac-Toe, and once you master this pattern, the game becomes boring. Okay. So we talked about chunking. Games are actually concentrated chunks. They are ready-made stuff given to you to learn. So we talked about real life event of crossing the valley for soldiers. That was a very difficult situation. But learning a game like Tic-Tac-Toe, it's very easy. So the game is such that it's designed in such a way that it's very easy to absorb. So when you are playing a game, you will only play it until you master the pattern. Look at that pattern. You take that position. And once you have mastered it, the game becomes boring. Okay. After 10 attempts, you must have got bored, and most of the people surrendered that we don't want to play this game. So, design guidelines. Very simple. I have not gone into a lot of theory in this. So design the game that doesn't allow player to understand patterns so fast. So design a Tic-Tac-Toe in such a way that it doesn't allow user to understand that pattern. It's very easy to design actually. If you understand the pattern, current pattern, and if you know the way to design a pattern in such a way that it doesn't allow the player to understand it easily. So it takes time to understand. Now the second game actually was very interesting. Anyway, the second guideline is provide enough challenge. We talked about challenge. It gives us fun. So what was the challenge in Tic-Tac-Toe? After some attempts, it was not very challenging. But if you give a case like, for example, if I am playing this game, now I have to put a circle somewhere. Okay, I want to win, and I want 3 circles in a row or in a column or in a diagonal. But the rule is, I have to put a cross, not a circle. It's a change rule. Something very interesting. Okay. Now the turn is mine, but I have to put a cross in such a way that it will help me in turn.